it's never too late to make things better. However bad you've screwed things up in your personal life and your business life, in your society, in your corporation, whatever it is you think is messed up, it's never too late to make it better. Stop, right? In chaos is opportunity, right? That's the classic yin yang.
Yeah.
Is it Sun Tzu or Confucius? I don't know who. One of the ancient Chinese philosophers. In chaos lies opportunity.
Sure.
You know, while your bell is getting rung and while everything is upside down and the world is on fire and nothing makes any sense, you need to take a deep breath, pause, think a little, right? And if you're, are you a winner? Or are you a loser? If you're a winner, you're going to look at the chaos around you and you're going to figure out how to make something good out of it. Right? And in the extreme of stoicism, you know, when you can't make anything good out of anything and your life is coming to an end in the last 30 seconds and you've tried everything you possibly can try, you can still choose how you die, and you can die with dignity, right? And set an example for everybody. You can do a Socrates, right? Even when it's done, is not done, right? I mean, Socrates dies a certain way, and 2,500 years later, we're talking about the example that he set. So the truth is, it is never too late to make things better. It is never too late to make things worse. And in chaos lies opportunity. And yeah, I'm not happy about a lot of things, but that's above my pay grade, right? And it's above your pay grade. So here, what can you do? You can embrace digital transformation of education and engagement via Zoom or YouTube or Twitter. You can engage, you can embrace digital property in the form of Bitcoin and think really hard about it and what it means to you, because you know, if you had engaged digital property when Bitcoin was $4,000 a coin, where are you right now, right? While the world was coming to an end. Here's the thing. Bitcoin's $10,000, and on Black Thursday, it crashes by 5,000 a coin. And while you think the world is coming to an end, you know, you could do nothing. And doing nothing would have been a good idea because you can make things worse. Making things worse would have been to sell. Panic sell, right? You could have done nothing. Or when you did panic sell, you could have thought about it for a bit, and you could have said, well, in this universe of uncertainty where it's difficult to move things around, maybe the one thing that I want to own is something which is digital that I can move on a crypto rail. And then you would have bought at 4,500 a coin or 5,000 a coin. And if you couldn't figure out either of those, you had the next 6 months. Bitcoin trades between 8,000 and 10,000, you know, 12,000 all the way through September, October. You had 6 months where you could get on the train. And if you're not sure what the world consists of, you know, the analysis I did is like, I looked at everything and I said in June and in May, and I said, well, look, Amazon just doubled in price. Amazon stock doubled in price. It went from 1,800 to like $1,700, $3,400 a share. Obviously, the world thinks they've recovered, right? My 20-something niece is, you know, telling me how Amazon stock is a good idea and she's buying it. I'm like, this is the same niece that I wrote the mobile wave about when she's like 9 or 8 years old, I guess. She said, Mike, I want the Big Apple for Christmas. And I said, the Big Apple? You want me to take you to New York? And she goes, no, the iPad. And I thought, well, like kids are running around asking for iPads, calling it the Big Apple, and that's the future, right? The future is the iPad, not New York City. But at the point that every 20-something is telling you that they're going to trade on Robinhood and buy Amazon stock, you know, you're not really the visionary anymore, right? You're not getting a 10x upside. So when I looked around, in May and June, I said, well, the big tech trade is over. Everybody in the world understands Apple, Amazon, Facebook, and Google. There's not much more juice to squeeze out of that idea. Like, it's not that you couldn't hold it, but it's a conventional idea. It's not an unconventional idea. And so, when Zoom stock, increased by a factor of 10 or whatever during the lockdowns, that, it's clear the world figured it out. But what is it the world did not embrace following the lockdowns? And the answer is Bitcoin. Like, I looked at Bitcoin in May, and Bitcoin's trading the same price it was 2 years earlier. It's like 10,000. I'm like, okay, I just got 2 years of extra development on this asset class. It's a lot less risky today, right? Fidelity was custodian. You had all the institutional adoption. You could see the hedge funds were coming. You could see some of the macro investors were talking about. So I'm like, well, it's more mature. It's 2 years outside the block size wars, right? We're past the block size wars. So this is a much less risky asset. It's much more mature. And then the use case, the reason you would want it is much more obvious today, which is you need a digital gold, right? Do you need it in February? Not nearly so much as you need it by April. And so in 8 weeks, the macroeconomic landscape transformed. And then we got hit in the face with a 2x4. Okay, there's a war, right? There's a war on human contact, and there's a war on currency, right? It's almost like we could declare a war on death by natural causes. And you could think very deeply about the implications of that. But I prefer to focus upon the technology aspect of this. Once you understand, once you see it, it's in front of your face. What happens next is you realize you're going to have to adapt. And so that causes you to start to question your values. And so I questioned the bond market, and I lost faith in the bond market. Then I questioned the equity market, and I lost faith in the equity market. Then you question the property market. Property's up 25% in Miami Beach in 12 months, John. I just read that little factoid. Lucky me, I have a house in Miami Beach. 2 of them, actually, right? But see, all these asset classes got monetized, right? Property is monetized, up 25%. Equity is monetized, up even more. Bonds are monetized. Okay, so now you just got to figure out what are you going to do, and it's like, you don't get to choose whether you live or die, John, but you get to choose how you die.